All right. Good morning. Good morning. So I've been reading this week from called The Wise Healing Wise by Susan Weed. You're always curious, right, whether or not Susan Weed, the herbalist, changed her last name to Weed, or that's how she was born. But anyway, kind of funny. So I love this. She writes this, that this was a dream that she had in a long time, very long ago, very far in the future. I love that. There are many temples and shrines of healing, so many that there seemed to be none at all. Every home was a sacred healing space, the whole earth a shrine and altar. The healers were priestesses and priest queens and kings, and the healers were all ordinary people. They had robes and costumes, and they had ordinary clothes. For each and every person was able to heal. Though they could heal, there was nothing to heal, for there was no disease. There was no disease they could heal, and there was no disease they could not heal. But there was no disease in the land, so there was no need for healing. But all were healers, and all were whole, and all were holy, and all were healed, and all were healers. Miracles were the ordinary play of the day. All miracles were to be played in an ordinary way, a common way. Everyday laughter healed the world. Holy jokes, holy funny. The game of healing, joyous amusement, amusing the muses. The game of healing, we are all healers. Come playing laughter with us, miraculous ones. Tickle us, touch us, heal us, hold us dear. We are always you, and you are always here. I want to chant this morning, and I'm going to read you a little bit more from her book. I want to think of that, especially in this time that we're in of the Pitta season, high Pitta, highlight, right? The light of the season. Sun so bright. We're going to do a little Gayatri mantra this morning, reminding ourselves that we are all the healers. We are all the light. We are all that incredible divine light. Call and response. Om Bhur, Om Bhur, Om Bhuvaha, Om Bhuvaha, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yona Prachodaya, Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhur, Om Bhur, Om Bhuvaha, Om Bhuvaha, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yona Prachodaya, Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhur, Om Bhur, Om Bhuvaha, Om Bhuvaha, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yona Prachodaya, Diyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhur, sorry. Om Bhur, Om Bhuvaha, Om Bhuvaha, Tatsavitur When we speak of the effulgent light, what is that? When we speak of the radiant light within us, what is that? May this effulgent light, may the sun within me, what is that sun? What is that fire? It is that healer. It is that transformation in every moment that we're capable of healing. You are the healer. You are the wise woman, the wise man. You are the shaman. Let your eyes float open. Come onto your hands and knees. I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve today, so let's just start with some cat-cow. So let's get our body moving. A couple of playful little thoughts for us today. Hi, Katrin. Hi, Suzanne. Susie. Who else? Hi, Alana. Good. And then maybe take that just into some hip circles as well. Move your hips. Maybe go in the opposite direction. Good. And then come on up into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift those knees up, press those hips high to the sky. Then maybe begin to lift one hand and then the other so you feel your imprint. It's not pushy. It's not, just getting that feel for being light. The imprint we make. Come on up to those tippy toes. Nice tippy toe dog. And then bend the knees deeply. Keep the hips shooting high to the sky. And then cat-cow here. Good. Next time your ears come in line with your arms, leave your head right there and press your tops of your thighs back to straighten the legs. Reach down through your heels. Find this most precious breath. Good. Inhaling the right leg back and up behind you, down dog sleep. Bringing the heel towards your butt and then making circles with this knee. So allowing this knee to move out to the right and then back in, big giant circles. Again, watching how harshly you push into your hands, become lighter, pull up from the earth. Good, stretch your right leg back so it's in the split form, and then step your right foot forward. Bring both hands inside your right foot, your lunge. knee pointing right at that second toe, and hip circles here. Feel that watery element. Yes. Move through the belly. So you feel as you're moving through the navel center, moving through the kidneys, moving through the liver, moving through the adrenals. Good. And then just walk your hands to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. You can dissolve down to your elbows or stay with straight arms. Make sure your knee is not passing your ankle here. So knee is right on top of ankle. Maybe move your foot forward if you need to help it out. Scoop that low belly, so a little dome shape in your back, rounding in your back. Breathing into that back body. I was working with my teacher, Robin, yesterday, and we did some really beautiful Thai yoga work together. And she was like, where should I be breathing into my body? Because we were working a lot of the pelvic area. And it might be simple enough to say breathe into your pelvis, but sometimes it's even more helpful to breathe into your jaw, release your jaw. The more you're releasing your throat, the more your pelvic floor will release. Good, walk that back in and step back, downward facing dog. Inhaling that left leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Bring your heel towards your butt and find your little circles here, circling that knee out and around. Maybe slowly. Feeling this movement. Beautiful. Stretch that leg back to straight. And step that foot forward. Good. Both hands inside. And then take hip circles here. Beautiful. So mindful, so present. And then go ahead and walk your hands to the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Once again, dissolve down to your elbows if you'd like, or stay right where you are. Press up through those hips. You still feel that sense of the sit bones pressing back and wide. Drop your head. Beautiful breath. Breathing into what you can release right now. Supporting that healer inside of you. Whatever needs healing, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Walk yourself back in, downward facing dog. Walk your feet in just a little bit. So you make a shorter dog. You'll know how short you need to be because your right hand will come to the center of your mat and your left hand will come back to hold your right ankle, outer right ankle. So you're twisting. Left hand comes back to hold your outer right ankle and you twist. So go short as you need to go. Nancy, the bottom foot. Both feet stay anchored to the floor and you're just reaching for the foot. We're going to do that later, so you're ahead of yourself. You're reaching for the ankle that's on the floor. Good. And then switch sides. Twisting and use your outer ankle to press. So you feel that sense of I can twist a little bit more if I have something to anchor me. Beautiful. As you release, walk your hands forward, coming into plank pose. Pause and plank, lift your thighs, lift your navel, lift your head. Now go slightly past your wrists and lower all the way down to your belly. Come into Sphinx Pose, come on up to your elbows. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Pressing your hands down so they imprint your mat and then drag your hands back so your chest feels like it's pulling forward. Pull your navel in and breathe. Soften through those eyes. So sweet. Tuck your back toes under and lift your knees, lift your hips into a forearm plank. Good. Lower those hips back down. Slide your hands back to your rib cage, cobra pose. Open your mouth, stick out your tongue. Press back into child's pose. Sweet. These are the ways of our ancient grandmothers, the ancient ones who still live. These wise women are one with all life as they tread the ever-changing spirals of life. Every pain, every plant, every stone, every feeling, every problem is cherished as a teacher. Not a teacher who grades us, but a teacher who guides us. Night is love for darkness and stars. Day is love for light and the sun. Uniqueness is our treasure, not normalcy. Our universe includes all. It is both and, not either or. This is the wise way of the world. Good. Come onto your hands and knees. Slide your right leg back behind you. So walk toward the front of your mat for a moment and then slide your right leg back behind you. Put your right toes on the floor. Spin your heel to the floor and take your right arm to the sky. Make sure that knee is right underneath that hip. Good. Slide that right leg up off the floor and reach back and hold that ankle if you can. If you can't, just leave that leg stretched out. Good. Now release your right leg back again. Lower your right leg down to the floor. Keep your right arm up to the sky. Lower your right leg down to the floor. Good. Now pressing into that right hand and left hand and pressing into that left hand and pressing into that right leg. Lift your left knee off the mat. Pull your left knee off the mat. Lift it up. Lift your left knee up off the mat. Up, up, up. Squeeze it up toward your navel. Lower that leg back down onto your hands and knees and press back into child's pose. Every moment unique. Every moment its own. Seeing the world fresh in every moment. Not easy to do. Come on up to your hands and knees. Sliding your left leg behind you. Is that true? And then sliding that heel to the floor. Taking your left arm to the sky. Again, that anchoring of your right hand also pulling up from the earth into your shoulder blade. And then let your left leg lift up off the floor, left leg up. Maybe reach back for that ankle. Maybe stay right where you are. Be careful not to push your rib cage forward. Navel in. Good. Now extend that left leg behind you. Lower the left foot down to the floor. So now your left foot's going to be your anchor. Your right hand is still your anchor. Now lift your right knee off the floor. Right knee up. Squeeze it up towards your navel. Pull it up. Very nice. Lower it back down. Super sweet downward facing dog. Nice job, everybody. Good. Bring your dog into a shorter dog again. Inhale your right leg back behind you. See if you can reach back with your right hand to hold your right ankle. Look forward. It's going to help. Look forward. It's going to help. See if you can reach back. You just made a shorter dog. You're just playing. You're just playing. Good. Release. Try the other side. It's funny. I have to say it like 7 times. You're just playing, which means you're probably going to fall. Good, Susan. If you fall, you've done it correctly. Nice, Lana, you got it. Nice, Marla. And release. Come on down to those knees. Press back into Child's Pose. This is our month of Krishna too, right? Playfulness, supreme playfulness. Krishna's birthday this month. A part of us that births creativity, play of the child. The opportunity to see things as both and, not either or. Supreme newness. Pranava is one of the Sanskrit words to be completely open to what is now. Good. Come on up to your hands and knees, downward facing dog. Step that right foot forward when you're ready. Open up to Garudasana 2, second warrior. Sink deep into those hips. Let your thigh get very heavy. But at the same time, let your body feel very light. Good, straighten that front leg and reach for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Right hand to ankle and or a block. Left arm, slide it a little closer to your ear so you don't shorten your side body. Open that left shoulder, open, and lift your head just a little bit so it doesn't hang. Beautiful, nice, Brooke. Breathing into that open space. Wide open space. Good, now bend that knee and come into Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand on the floor, left hand reaches back for that left ankle. You just tried that in down dog. What happened? And my trick in half moon is to really fall into that right hand. So fall as far forward as you can fall. And then feel yourself extend. Good, if you have that ankle, now just extend that leg back. Make it nice and long. Take that left arm to the sky. Yes, get longer, get longer. Push through your spine, get longer. Nice, Sharon. Step back, downward facing dog. I say it as you're falling. Move forward to plank. Lower down to that belly. Come into Sphinx Pose and breathe. Breathe. Pull that navel in. What is that effulgent light, that brilliant light within you? What is it? Talk about it. We sing about it. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, lift your knees up. One of our greatest gifts is to question. Curiosity. Lower back down. Super beautiful. Slide your hands back by your rib cage. Lift up into Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Feel your spine. Open your mouth. Stick out your tongue. Get that jaw to release, please. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Open Viratip. Super soft landing in the room. Nice job, you too. You know you get lighter and lighter when you don't get that big thump when you bring your foot forward. Sink deeper into your pelvis. Go nice and low, but feel light. Feel that sense of both heavy and light. Heavy and grounded. But straighten that front leg and reach for triangle pose. Go slow. Lift your head. Nice, Rhonda. Open those shoulders, pull those shoulders open. Notice that you're paying attention to your big toe, not just your baby toe. Squeezing that shin in toward the center of the mat. And then bend that knee and come forward into half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. Reach for that ankle if you can. If you can't, just keep the leg straight. Flex the foot. And then move your left hand a little further forward, fall a little further into that left hand, almost like you're going to do a cartwheel. You just give yourself that much more space. And then if you have your ankle, stretch your leg out to straight, take that arm to the sky and push from your spine. Feel your spine getting more open here. Beautiful. And step back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Vashisthasana, right hand holds you. Stacking your left leg on top or keeping your legs separate and just having both legs slightly separate. That works well too. Then take your top leg and step it behind you. And then bend your top elbow and pull back, pull the ribs in. That's it. Nice, Susie. Yes, Meredith. Beautiful, Sarah. And touch down. Gorgeous. Plank pose. Either keep your legs slightly separated and turn your feet just as is, or stack your right leg on top of your left. Take your right arm to the sky. Good. Step your top foot behind you. Bend your right elbow. Pull back. Lean back. Pull your throat back. Relax your jaw here, please. And release your hand and knees down to the floor. Child's pose. There are no rules in the wise woman tradition. The only rule in the wise woman tradition is that there are no rules. Allowing the unjudging flow of compassion in a wise woman way. We are challenged to remember that the perfect wholeness of each moment is ever changing. There can be no rules for loving ourselves unconditionally with wise woman roughness and compassion. We are challenged to acknowledge the unique perfection of each pain, for there are no rules. Looking at the both and hologram with the wise woman vision, we are challenged to increase the clarity and brilliance of the whole by nourishing the web of each of its unique parts. There can be no rules. Come on up to your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. And stepping that right foot forward. Come into a high lunge, reach those arms up to the sky, reach up. Take a hold of your right wrist and pull to the left. Side stretch. Good, now see how much space you've created in the right side? Now take your left arm as high as that right arm, reach up. Full extension up, bring back into that neutral place, so come back to center and just reach as high as you can. Good, now bend those elbows and lean back, lean back. Clasp your hands behind your back and bow forward inside that right knee. Take your head as close to the floor as you can go. Relax your hands down to the floor. Take your back leg to the sky into standing split. Reach that left leg as high as it'll go. Maybe even bend your right knee, that's your standing leg, and then take your left leg a little higher, and then straighten your standing leg. Navel in. Now squeeze that left leg down just a little bit and take your right arm to the sky, twisting Ardha Chandrasana. Right arm up. Maybe reach back for that ankle, maybe stay right where you are. Wherever you are, breathe deeply into this magnificence, this moment, this you. Gently release, standing forward bend. Take your feet wide and come into squat. Maybe a blanket underneath your heels. Allow yourself to rest, feel, and experience, and heal. Beautiful. Downward facing dog. Stepping your left foot forward, come into high lunge. Reach those arms up to the sky. And then take a hold of your left wrist and pull to the right. Side body lengthening. See how high that left arm is. Now take the right arm just as high and come back to center. Beautiful. Bend those elbows. Lean back as if someone's holding you from behind. Keep sending that knee forward. Clasp your hands behind your back. Take a breath in and bow forward. Shoulder blades kissing at your back. Head touching the floor. You have a ponytail. It works a little easier. Good. Hands down to the floor. Swing your back leg to the sky. Get it as high as it'll go. No limits. And then squeeze the leg in just a little bit so the power of the legs is very clear. Inner lining of the legs very strong. Swing that left arm to the sky. Left arm. Left arm. There you go. Reach back for that ankle if you'd like. Twisting Ardha Chandrasana. And as you release everything, you're in a standing forward bend. And turn your feet wide and come into squat. And breathe into the places that are calling to you. Maybe there's certain places that feel a little extra sticky, tight. Maybe emotionally sticky or tight. Squatting for me is one of the greatest gifts. Getting into those hips, getting into that pelvis. Good. Standing forward bend, please. And here, take your hands behind your back, clasp your hands behind your back, shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Got a lot of space, and then start to straighten those arms, pick them up and over any amount. Good. Hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. Allow your arms to drop alongside the body, close your eyes and just feel. The wise woman way, the wise man way, shaman's way. Inhale your arms up to the sky, take a hold of your left wrist and pull to the right. Now, strangely enough, I want you to reach your right leg out to the right as well. So take your right leg off the floor and reach it out to the right, your right leg out to the right. And then try to squeeze it back in, so flex it and pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Good. Switch sides. Try to lift the leg. Just finding that place that takes you completely off balance. And bring that back down. Beautiful, everybody. And hug your left knee into your chest. Remember, when we draw our knee in, we tend to over tuck our tailbone. So send your sit bones back and wide here. Lift your chest a lot. Navel stays in. Now take your arms up to the sky and start to bring your left leg back to Virabhadrasana 3, third warrior. Good, now bend both knees, bend both knees. Come into that wobble moment. And then press your legs to straight. Draw that knee back into your chest. And release down. I want to say resume breathing. It tends to be the time we hold the breath. Good. Second side, hug your knee into your chest. Right knee in. Good. And as you're ready, begin to send that leg back behind you. Angela, when did you come on? When did that just right now? Good. Bend both knees. And then press your legs to straight. Shoot those arms forward. And then come on back. Beautiful. All right, hug that left knee into your chest one more time. We'll take eagle pose, one more balancing pose. Left knee on top of right knee, sit back into chair, squeeze your shins toward each other. Right elbow on top of left. You choose whether you want to draw your elbows to your knees or you want to take your elbows to the sky. Remember, even though you have this place of being very bound, right? You're tying yourself up here. You're very free here. Allow your inner groins to move wide. Allow your armpits to pull wide. Nice job. And fly away. Gorgeous. Let's try the second side. Garudasana. The pose with vision, the great eagle. Left knee on top of right, or right knee on top of left. Left elbow on top of right. Sit deep into your seat. And fly away. Super beautiful, everybody. Inhale those arms up to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. Step back into plank pose and then lower those knees down so you're on your hands and knees again. Good. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips. Stretch your right leg back behind you, your left arm out in front of you. Reach back for that ankle if you can, or stay right where you are. Pull that navel in, spread those toes. Good. Now extend that right leg back behind you, left hand back down to the floor. And then put the toes on the floor. Spin the heel down to the floor again, just like we started. Spin the heel down to the floor. Take your right arm to the sky, just like we began class. For some of you, it was a little too much too soon. So lift your right leg up, reach back for that ankle. Or leave it straight leg. Open up, pull that throat back, nice, Meredith. Good. And then as you lower that right hand back down to the floor, stretch that right leg behind you. Put the heel on the floor so it's still a straight leg behind you. Put your weight into that right foot, so slide your foot down to the floor. Good. And we're going to go ahead and take that right arm back up to the sky and lift now that left knee up off the floor. Now pull the left knee as high as you can. Lift the left knee off the floor, pull it as high as you can. And then see if you can stretch that leg straight out in front of you. Pull it straight out in front of you. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Bring it all the way back, lower down, both knees, both hands to the floor, press back into child's pose. I love pulling that knee up in that way. It really helps those abdominals like turn right on, right? Really squeeze in those abdominals. Come on up to those hands and knees. Stretch your left leg back behind you, your right arm out in front of you. Reach back to that ankle if you'd like, or stay right where you are. Spread those toes. Roll that neck, so no tension in that jaw. Go ahead, stretch that leg back behind you again. Lower the heel to the floor, lower the hand to the floor. Go ahead, put more weight into that left foot as you go ahead and take your left arm back up to the sky. And then lift that right knee off the floor. Pull that right knee up off the floor. Pull it up. And then push that leg to straight out in front of you if you can, or just keep that knee bent. And lower back down and child's pose. Sweet. There are no rules. In a both and universe, there are no rules. Anytime you think this is exactly the same as before, you're wrong. Rules make comfortable, secure boxes to hide between. When normalcy stretches its limits and the unexpected occurs, rules are safe. Rules are not elastic. Rules are visible. Rules are accountable. Rules are regular. Rules are logical. The wise woman, there are no rules. Allowing the unjudging flow of compassion. You're challenged to remember that the perfect wholeness of each moment is ever changing. Downward facing dog. Stepping your right foot forward, lower your left knee down to the mat, Anjaneyasana. We've done a lot of thigh stretches here, which is really good for digestion. The meridian of the stomach runs through the thighs. So place your hands onto your right thigh and press it forward. Pull your chest back. Feel that sense of dropping deep into your pelvis. You can stay right here or take your left hand back to lift your left foot off the floor into a thigh stretch. Make sure your knee is not directly underneath your hip. And as you're reaching back for that ankle, draw the knee down and pull it forward. Trying to take the top of the thigh back. If you have the back ankle, or even if you don't, you can reach the arms to the sky, right arm up or both arms up if you don't hold the ankle. Take that outer right armpit back and look up, pull your throat back. Super beautiful. As your hands release down to the floor, straighten your front leg either into half Hanuman, half split, or full Hanumanasana. So either drag that heel as far forward as you can and then pull the heel down and back, or go into your fullest form of split pose Hanumanasana. Tack that right hip crease back. Scoop that low belly, ever changing now. Good, and then slowly come on up, super beautiful. Downward facing dog, if you'd like to do a vinyasa, feel free to do that. Otherwise, you'll step your left foot forward when you're ready. Anjaneyasana. Left foot forward, low lunge. Make sure that knee is pointing right at that second toe once you arrive. Taking your hands down to that thigh and pressing the knee down and forward. This gives you an opportunity to pull the navel in and to take the sit bones back and wide. You can stay here or reach your right hand back for your right ankle thigh stretch. Maybe take your left arm up to the sky. Draw your throat back. And as you release, taking that front leg to straight to any amount, so full split or half split. Making sure that both legs are active. Even here, and I should have said it also in Anjaneyasana, it's nice to use your back foot. Press down through that back foot. So every time that you're opening up the body, you have that anchor, something that's anchoring you, that's supporting that openness. You're breathing in and you're breathing out. Beautiful. And come on up, downward facing dog. You can move through vinyasa if you'd like, or just stay in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Making a shorter dog once you arrive, shorter dog again, right leg to the sky. Reach your left arm back to hold that ankle if you'd like to try. Again, looking forward is going to be slightly helpful. And lowering that leg back down, switching sides. Left leg back and up. Maybe taking your right hand back to hold that ankle. It has to be a shorter dog though, a little shorter than usual. Good. And lower that down. Good. Sending your right knee forward for pigeon pose, right knee behind your right wrist, and or lie on your back right ankle to left knee. Walking yourself forward into pigeon pose, or again, lying on your back if that is better for you. Finding your breath in through the nose and out through the nose. These are the ways that the ancient grandmothers, ancient ones, the wise women receive nourishment from and give nourishment to the great mother of all. They receive her abundance of compassion, knowing they themselves will be food for others. They know that dying is a portal to the existence of death, as birth is a portal to the existence of life. They celebrate all comings and goings. This is the wise woman's way. These are the ways of our ancient grandmothers, the ancient ones. These wise women spin the invisible web which weaves us all together. They invite you to weave the threads of your own life back into the cloak of the ancient one, the holy blanket of the wise woman. They thank you for reweaving wherever you can the sacred threads, animal, plants, and personal kinship. Ancient ways, the wise ways, the shaman way. Come on up and switch sides. Again, if you have it in you, you would like to do a vinyasa, feel free, plank, maybe a Vashisthasana. And we'll take, there you go. Got it, Brooke. Yep. Keep that left knee nice and wide. And then wander forward. So as always, there is a lazy man's pigeon, which means you get into the pose and you do nothing. And that does feel good. But if you're having a little extra, fire in you today, squeeze those knees toward each other. So again, you still have that stability of how you're opening. You feel that sense of pulling in, navel in, fire. So much breathing here. Sweet. If you're on your back, stay there. And the rest of you, walk yourself back up and slide your right leg in front of you. And lie on your back, hugging your knees into your chest. Just feel this lower back. You can even press your knees into your hands. And then lower your feet down to the floor, keeping your knees bent. Just find that natural curve of your spine. It's a little lift. Heart lifts, chest lifts, rib cage falls to the floor. And then lift your hips up off the floor, coming up into bridge. And then lift up onto your tippy toes. Come on up onto your tippy toes. Lift high onto your tippy toes. And then lower your hips back down to the floor. Stay up on your tippy toes. Lower down, down, down. And then lower the heels down to the floor. And do that again. Lift your hips high to the sky. Shoulders down, throat open, jaw relaxed. Lift up onto your tippy toes. And feel the tops of your thighs releasing as you lower the hips back down, but keeping your heels lifted. And then lowering the heels back down as well. Try that one more time. Feet on the floor, lift your hips high. Lift up to your tippy toes. And then allow the tops of your thighs to release slowly, slowly, slowly. And then your heels meet the floor again. Good. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees drop open. Relax your arms. I made a very new, fabulous oil for womb belly release. It's the warmth of ginger and the magic of mugwort. We used it on our retreat as helping to release places that we're bound to, that cosmic connection to each other that somehow binds us. Cutting the cords of that navel center so that you stand in your power. It's a very easy oil to make with just fresh ginger, fresh mugwort and oil. And its effects are just incredible. Soothing and releasing and opening. Wise woman way. I'm going to give you the opportunity to go upside down here. So maybe you want to stretch your legs up to the sky and just stay there. That's very restorative. inversion, or maybe take a block and place it underneath your sacrum and stretch your legs straight up. Maybe move over to a wall and put your legs up the wall. Maybe come into shoulder stand, headstand, handstand, forearm balance, any of those. She carries a blanket of compassion and wears a robe of wisdom. Around her throat flutters a veil of shifting shapes. From her shoulders, a mantle of power flows. Story bands circles her forehead, and she stitches a quilt. She spins the fibers into yarn. She knits, she sews, she weaves. She ties the threads of our lives together. She forms a web of spiraling threads. Ancient grandmothers. Take one more minute here. If you need to come out before that, please do. Ever so slowly begin to return back to your seats. If you were in headstand, feel free to take downward dog. Shoulder stand, feel free to come into fish or just roll your head from side to side. We're going to do one forward bend. So once you come back up to seated, stretch your legs nice and wide. And allow yourself, maybe sit up on a blanket so the pelvis is very neutral. Even slide back a little bit more with the pelvis. And then walk yourself forward any amount. If you'd like to side stretch here, you can always walk your right arm inside your right leg, take your left arm over your ear. Nice, Diane, really open up. Nice, Nancy. Yeah, Lisa, great. Sasha. Yes, 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 everybody. Come back and switch sides if you're doing the side stretch. Yeah. And come all the way back. Come to a comfortable cross-legged seat. And just take your right ear down to your right shoulder. Stretch your left hand onto the floor. Right hand down. So use your right hand to bring your right ear down to your right shoulder. Yeah, left fingertips on the floor is helpful. Then press your head up into your hand. Breathe. Come to center and switch sides. Come on up and just roll that neck. Change direction. Come to center, eyes closed. Maybe thumb and first finger come to touch. Just take a moment to spiral deep inside yourself. The wise woman, the wise man, shaman, medicine woman, the medicine man. Spiral deep into that effulgent light. One that really opens the passageway, the portals into the knowledge. How to heal. Maybe for a moment as you walk deep inside yourself, you can sit in the company, the invitation of the wise woman. She always has something to whisper in your ear, I promise. Receive the message. You are whole, you are holy. She reaches over and kisses you on your third eye, space between the eyebrows, awakening all the knowledge. You can stay here if you'd like. In gratitude for all the messages you receive. And if you'd like to lie on your back, you can take Shavasana or stay seated. Ever so gently begin to deepen your breath. If you're lying down, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. If you're seated, maybe take a little twist. And as you feel ready, those of you lying down, roll to your right side and come on up to sit. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Chant Om Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Big breath in for Om. Om. Sliding your hands to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I will see you soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Sheryl.
You're welcome so much.
And what was the name of that book again, Sheryl? The name of the
It's
book?
called The Healing Wise by Susan Weed.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
Have
welcome.
a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheryl.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Like
You're
Kristen, as always.
I love the rules part. I mean, it was so amazing. I guess we could be a rule breaker is okay.
In the best way possible, right?
Yes. Yes. No, I was thinking of it and it's just pretty awesome. Thank you. That was
Of
spectacular.
course. You're welcome.
Just a quick question, Sheryl. My cell phone rang in class and it comes through my phone. It doesn't affect you guys though, right?
I never heard it.
Oh,
No,
thank goodness. I panicked and I thought, oh my gosh. Okay,
no.
fabulous.
Great.
And I did also get a note saying my plan expired. I just bought it last week. I guess it must mean the old one, but if you hear from me, that's just,
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, reach out. If anything looks wacky, just reach out to Jen.
okay, we'll do. Thank you so much. Beautiful
You're
class.
welcome.
Have a great
Bye.
day. Bye-bye.
It's like you already